Hey, this is Eli Campbell. You know, Steamboat is renowned worldwide for skiing, biking, and all that our natural playground has to offer. We're fortunate, though, that the natural beauty here attracts more than just outdoor enthusiasts. From local legends to world-class acts, amazing musicians regularly play the venues in our little corner of Northwest Colorado. Join me as I explore the stories and experiences of these talented artists who bring unforgettable performances to Steamboat. This is your Steamboat Sound Check. Welcome to the Steamboat Sound Check podcast. Eli Campbell here with you. Podcast presented by McCreight Progressive Dentistry. And we are joined this morning by Bonnie Sims, Eve Panning, Hazel Royer, and Joy Adams, better known as Big Richard, who will be playing the Strings Music Pavilion on March 22nd. They are in a van getting ready to go off to a show touring through North Carolina right now. How are you guys doing?
So good. We just had a lovely breakfast, a birthday breakfast for our friend.
Yep.
So
Nice.
felt very relaxed.
Nice. Yeah. And I mean, North Carolina plays close to my heart. It's actually where my wife is from. And
Nice.
certainly an area that appreciates bluegrass music. You guys are on tour currently with the Girl Dinner album just having released this past week. We want to get to that in just a moment, but curious, just how has the tour been so far?
It's been everything's gone so smooth.
So smooth.
So smooth.
Exactly according to plan, just like always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a cool little tour van there. I saw in your bio that you're a band that's fueled by gas station snacks. You're going to be driving quite a few miles in that van over the next couple of weeks along the East Coast. I have to ask, what are each of your go-to gas station convenient snacks?
That's a wonderful question. I'm all about the Lay's sour cream and onion potato chips.
I see some Pringles in the background there.
70% that.
Yep. Pringles, animal crackers,
Popcorn.
seaweed snacks.
Popcorn's great, yeah.
People love that. It literally anything crunchy and salty.
Yeah, that's perfect for a road trip. Now, of course, that little nugget about gas station snacks, it came from the band bio that I was sent. And a quick digression, I had a grade school teacher that hammered home this idea that you have to read to the end of any document that you're given. So, of course, I read all the way to the bottom of this bio, and there's some fun little nuggets for each of you at the bottom of that page. I think the one that I and most of our Steamboat Locals listeners can most relate to is Joy. Your bio says you'd just rather be skiing. So I have to ask, if given the chance between playing a sold-out show or catching a perfect powder day, how quickly are you going to be ditching your bandmates?
Obviously the powder day. It's so easy. It's so easy. I literally have the logo to Loveland Ski Area tattooed on my rib cage.
Yeah, so it's definitely powder day first and then playing music second for you.
Ideally you get both of them, and this band is pretty lucky we usually get both of them. So we played Telluride a couple weeks ago, and I got a powder day in Telluride and then played the show. It was great. It's like a wonderful audience. And yeah, had a local showing us around the mountain, which is so cool.
Now, obviously, that's a little bit of humor. That's part of your bio. It's a large component of the band, not just in that bio. It's part of the band's name. You bring humor to the stage with you when you guys perform. And both laughter and music are kind of a universally transcendent language that bring people together. Can you talk a little bit about, was that something that you intentionally wanted to bring to the stage with you when you perform, or did it just kind of come naturally and always has been part of the vision?
You know, we intended to take this just so seriously. None of it was a joke, and then everyone told us it was a joke. So, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I mean, we definitely humor is, I feel like, one of the most accessible doors into, someone's mind, and you can making someone laugh makes them consider something. So even though we're having a lot of fun with gender play and the idea of oh, Big Richard energy, we're four ladies, we have this powerful thing that we're talking about. In reality, we view gender as a spectrum and as the luxury of being fully human, getting to experience the masculine and feminine energy inside of each of us. So even though we poke a lot of fun at it, at its core, we're trying to do the very effective human thing of make a joke about something that we want you to really think about. And then a joke is a good access point to helping people consider things, I think.
Yeah.
How important is the humor for you guys? Like I said, we're doing this interview while you're driving to a gig. You're on tour. You're five women packed into a van, pretty close quarters there for a while. How important is that to have that levity throughout a tour?
We would die without it.
Yeah, life-saving.
Yeah.
It's what keeps us going a lot of times. It's just laughing in the face of things that are like hard or challenging in any way. It's just like making light of things that are making us feel down.
Yeah.
It's really important.
I always tell people touring, might look like the exciting rock star life, but it's really like you're walking through the day trying to accomplish a task, and you're getting hit by 2,000 tiny little arrows that are dipped in bullshit.
Oh, wow.
And it's up to you, like, how to handle them. And honestly, if you can just laugh about anything, it goes a long way. Otherwise, you will die.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of the idea behind the whole like girl dinner album and stuff too. We were just like, that was also just a joke that got taken a little too seriously. But it like worked out. I mean, we were like, let's all have a really elaborate posh picnic, but like
In a gas
station, because it's just like that's kind of what this whole thing is. Like, let's
a posh picnic at a gas
posh
station.
picnic at a gas station.
Yeah, that's literally.
Well, because it just like looks like this. I don't know. I feel like people do have this idea that it's a glamorous, exciting, or like, and it does have those moments that feel like are really cool and really high and incredible. But then it's also, like Joyce said, a lot of getting hit with little bullshit arrows too.
Yeah.
I will say, like, in our glamour, like when we are getting glamorous and like we're ready for the show, like the likelihood that we changed, like bent over in a parking lot between doors of a van in the dark is like 85% that happened. So it's like it's only glamorous when the lights are on. Every other moment like that, it like just feels like.
But I'm also thinking, like, do we get glamorous?
Our theme yesterday was wear what you're already wearing.
That's
Wear what you got.
like, wait, I got on stage in front of people after being in a van for 2 days, and
How is that?
I don't think I brushed my teeth today. I didn't comb my hair. I shouldn't say all of this to you right now.
You'll
Well,
edit
I
that
mean,
out.
we're getting a great view of all of this right now with you guys actually in the van. I think this is perfect for
Let's
this
show 'em.
conversation.
Look, we're gonna show you snack. This is how much food we have. It's 2 layers. Grape nuts.
Grape nut.
We have entire boxes of cereal, and then a whole cooler full of stuff.
I gotta drain that thing.
I mean, that looks like the perfect road trip compliment right there. It's a charcuterie board of road tripping right there.
Yes.
So,
Yes, 1000%.
you guys are off on this tour supporting the Girl Dinner album, your debut album, after what was really just supposed to be a one-off jam session. And it's interesting. I actually just had an interview with Sister Sadie as well, who over a decade ago kind of had that same experience, a one-off performance, gathering of talented musicians that felt this chemistry at first rehearsal. And now, a decade later, they're bluegrass entertainers of the year and an incredible band. What is it that you felt in that first session that said, man, we could do something bigger with this?
I think we definitely felt, a lot of the things that we've already talked about as far as just like the connection and the humor in what we were doing. We laughed like so much at our first, we like to say we laughed so much we peed our pants at our first rehearsal. And it was just like, from that moment, we like literally, we just knew that this was a really, had like the potential to be fun in a way that had a lot of momentum and like was very engaging for just us as artists. So we were excited to like take that to the audience and let them hopefully, feel it too if they want to come along for the ride, so to speak.
It seems like anytime I hear of these bands like Sister Sadie or Big Richard, it's always great female bluegrass band. And I want to know what needs to be, where does it need to get where it's just great band? Because you guys are just great musicians. And gender shouldn't be playing a part into it necessarily.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that. We say that all the time, that we'd love to just be called musicians, without this like qualifier before it. I think that just getting the numbers even close to equal. There's so many incredible musicians who happen to be female, and it's just still a habit, I suppose, that's baked in. that people just like gravitate, the bookers just want a dude band.
I feel like, yeah, like Joy was saying, when I feel like it's just a numbers thing. Like when we get to a point eventually where we don't notice that there's like another all lady band on the bill, or like when we're not like, oh my gosh, like more women are here, when it's just feels like
More equal.
That's normal.
When it just feels like that's like a normal thing.
Yeah.
And I do feel that way at some festivals. There've definitely been a handful where there's so many like awesome ladies around, and so that always feels like really incredible.
And it's not just women, it's also people of color.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of incredible musicians in the bluegrass world who are people of color, and you'll go to a bluegrass festival and there's like one on stage. There's like 40 others that could easily be there, and they just haven't hired them. So I think it's people demanding to see their favorite artists. Like I want to go to a festival and I really want to see Trey Wellington band because Trey Wellington is awesome, or I really want to see Della Mae because Della Mae is awesome. So if it comes from the audience, that makes a big impact on the promoters too. If people demand what they want to see, the promoters will listen.
There's been a lot of demand for Big Richard, and that's what has brought you guys across the country. That's brought you to the debut studio album, Girl Dinner, which dropped last Friday. We've been playing Missing Stair and Town Line on our radio side of things. When it came to writing and selecting songs for this album, were these tracks that you guys came together specifically for Big Richard, or I know you all came from other projects? Were these things that you'd had kind of with you and you were just waiting for the right moment and right group of musicians to play them with?
I think it's a combination of a lot of different options. Like some of us have had these, some of these songs have been written for, like, they're very old songs, and some of them are songs we've written like just right before we recorded that album. And it's sort of a combination of, it was just like a combination of, here are some of our favorites that we've written and some of our original pieces that we really love playing, and everyone is super invested. And that's how we picked them, really. It's just we like fell in love with each of these songs independently, and then we came up with arrangements together, and it's been beautiful.
It's a great album, and really excited to see you guys here in Steamboat playing March 22nd at the Strings Music Pavilion. I want to thank you for taking some time while you're in the van there, and wish you safe travels across the East Coast, and of course, as on your way here to Steamboat when you're back home in Colorado. Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.